In the early 1950s, the First Indochina War raged between the French colonial forces and the Viet Minh. The communist-led insurgency determined to expel the colonial power and establish an independent Vietnam. By 1953, the war had reached a critical juncture. The French, desperate to maintain control over their colonial possessions, devised a bold plan to draw the Viet Minh into a decisive battle. The chosen battlefield was Dien, a remote valley in northwestern Vietnam. The French command believed that by establishing a fortified base in Dien, they could lure the Viet Minh into a conventional engagement where French firepower would overwhelm the insurgents. However, the Viet Minh, led by the brilliant General Vo Nguyen Giap, had other plans. They prepared to turn the French strategy on its head in a confrontation that would decide the fate of Vietnam and signal the end of French colonial rule in Southeast Asia. In November 1953, the French initiated Operation Castor, a massive airborne operation to establish a base at Dien Bien Phu. Paratroopers descended into the valley, securing key positions and setting up a network of strongpoints named after French cities and women. Huguette, Claudine, Beatrice, and Gabrielle. Colonel Christian de Castries, a decorated World War II hero, was appointed to command the French garrison. Confident in the superiority of French firepower and the seemingly impregnable defenses, de Castries fortified the base with artillery, mortars, and barbed wire. Supply lines were established by air, as the rugged terrain made ground routes nearly impossible. However, the French underestimated both the determination and the logistical capabilities of the Viet Minh. General Giap meticulously planned his counteroffensive, mobilizing tens of thousands of troops and an immense quantity of artillery. Over the following months, the Viet Minh moved their forces into position, hauling heavy artillery pieces through dense jungle and up steep mountains, often by hand. On the evening of March 13, 1954, the silence of Dien Bien Phu was shattered by the thunderous roar of artillery. The Viet Minh opened their assault with a massive bombardment of the French positions, targeting the strongpoint Beatrice. The intensity of the barrage stunned the French defenders, and within hours, the position was overrun. The fall of Beatrice was a severe blow to French morale, but the worst was yet to come. Over the following days, the Viet Minh systematically attacked and captured additional strongpoints. The French, now fully aware of the scale of the Viet Minh assault, were trapped in a deadly siege. Supplies and reinforcements could only reach the base by air, and the Viet Minh anti-aircraft fire made these resupply missions increasingly perilous. As the siege intensified, Colonel de Castries and his men faced relentless attacks. The Viet Minh dug a network of trenches and tunnels, gradually tightening the noose around the French positions. Every night, the defenders braced themselves for another wave of attacks, their numbers dwindling with each assault. By April, the situation for the French garrison had become dire. Food, ammunition, and medical supplies were running dangerously low. The Viet Minh artillery continued to pound the French positions, and disease and exhaustion took a heavy toll on the defenders. Inside the beleaguered fortress, the French soldiers fought with a mix of desperation and courage. Each strong point became a miniature battlefield, where fierce hand-to-hand combat raged in the trenches and bunkers. The French Air Force, despite their best efforts, struggled to provide effective support due to the relentless Viet Minh anti-aircraft fire. Among the French defenders was Captain Henri Cabot, a veteran officer known for his resilience and leadership. Cabot's company was stationed at the strongpoint Huguette, one of the last bastions of resistance. Under constant fire, Cabot and his men held their ground, repelling wave after wave of Viet Minh assaults. Despite the grim circumstances, the French defenders found moments of camaraderie and hope. Letters from loved ones, shared rations, and the occasional successful counterattack provided fleeting solace. However, the weight of impending defeat loomed large, and whispers of surrender began to circulate. In early May, General Giap prepared for the final assault on the French positions. The Viet Minh had spent weeks encircling the French strongpoints, and the time had come for a decisive blow. Giap's strategy was to launch simultaneous attacks on multiple strongpoints, overwhelming the defenders and forcing their surrender. On May 1st, the Viet Minh launched their final offensive. The artillery barrage that preceded the assault was unprecedented in its ferocity. The French positions were pounded relentlessly, reducing bunkers and trenches to rubble. Under the cover of this bombardment, Viet Minh infantry swarmed forward, engaging the French in brutal close-quarters combat. Captain Cabot and his men at Huguet fought with unmatched bravery, but the odds were insurmountable. The strong point was gradually overrun, and Cabot, wounded and exhausted, was captured along with his surviving men. Similar scenes played out across the battlefield as the French positions fell one by one. On May 7, 1954, after 57 days of siege and relentless combat, the French command at Dien Bien Phu surrendered. The garrison, reduced to a fraction of its original strength, was taken prisoner by the Viet Minh. The battle was over, and with it, the French grip on Vietnam was irrevocably broken. The fall of Dien Bien Phu had far-reaching consequences. The defeat marked the end of French colonial ambitions in Indochina and paved the way for the Geneva Conference, where the division of Vietnam into North and South was formalized. The battle also served as a powerful symbol of the strength and determination of the Viet Minh and their leader, Ho Chi Minh. For the French soldiers who survived the siege, the memories of Dien Bien Phu remained vivid and haunting. The battle became a testament to their courage and sacrifice, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Colonel de Castries, Captain Cabot, and their comrades were honored for their bravery, but the scars of the defeat lingered. In the broader context of history, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu stands as a dramatic and suspenseful tale of strategy, endurance, and the shifting tides of empire. It serves as a reminder of the complexities and tragedies of war, where bravery and sacrifice often coexist with defeat and loss. The legacy of Dien Bien Phu endures, a poignant chapter in the story of Vietnam's struggle for independence and the end of colonial rule in Southeast Asia. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe to receive notification when we drop new content.